Hello and welcome to another episode of Casual Master Quest. My name is Nick, your host for the episode. This is episode 77, and we are post-Thanksgiving. Today I'm joined...
Yeah, we are.
Today I'm joined by, and you just heard him, my lovely co-host, Tyler. Hi.
Wait, how did I get heard here? Did I echo?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying, because you said, yeah, you are, and then...
Oh.
Yeah, because people would have heard that, I would assume, unless I'm just hearing things now and I'm talking to myself.
That's true. Hi, yes, my name is Tyler.
Hi,
I'm
Tyler.
here. Things are happening a little differently than what we're used to. Things, a little bit haywire. There's also the fact that whiskey's involved. We're not too crazy into it yet, and I'm a responsible adult. And, well, the good thing is, I was previously banned from drinking on the show, referred to that one episode. I'm not going to tell you which number.
You're just going to have to listen to it all the way from the beginning to find that episode.
I'll make you a deal. If you've gone this far, I'll give the first person to tell me a $25 Subway gift card if they can tell me what episode Tyler accidentally got tanked off of Everclear. And ever since then, I haven't been able to drink on the show, but tonight's a little bit special. We're celebrating, it's the night of Thanksgiving, Black Friday week, whatever you want to call it. It's technically the time of year where they feel more justified in playing that shitty ass holiday music over at your local retail store. Shout out to the retail people. I'm so sorry. But my point is, I have a little bit of Jack Daniels heading my way, and I'm feeling good. But what about you, Nick?
A little bit of Jack Daniels already in you, Tyler. I'm doing all right. I've been busy. I'm so fucking tired.
I know. I took a nap before this. Like, it was the best thing ever, man.
So, Glenn isn't here today because he's been indisposed with some other things. I wasn't supposed to be here today.
Indisposed with some things. Look at this.
I wasn't supposed to be here today, but B somehow made it work. I'm gonna go over my week really quick because there's really only been one big thing, apart from a bunch of deadlines and submissions we've had. As our school comes to a wrap, for one of my courses that's based around sustainability and textiles, we hosted a local event, pulling it together people from the local textile and fashion industry, and the idea was to have a local discourse on the sustainability of textiles in the Vancouver area and how we can move forward as a community to promote sustainability. And I was in charge of not necessarily creating what's going on at the event, what the people are going to do, but actually running the event, making sure the tables were there, chairs were there, food was there. I was keeping time, coordinating everybody. So my day looked like this. I was up at 7:30 in the morning. I was out of the house by 8:30, went to pick up breakfast for the entire team, got there by 9:30, started setting up between 9:30 to 11:30, did a dry run from 11:30 to 12:30, and then 12:30 doors opened, 1 p.m. the event started. Event ran till 4 p.m. 4 to 5:30 was tear down and clean up, 5:30 to 6:30 was debrief, and then I finally came home. And I hadn't eaten during that entire time.
How are you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing fucking fantastic, Tyler. Because
I bet you are.
I ran the shit out of that event. We started, so I said we started at 1 p.m. We were supposed to start at 1 p.m. We started at 1:20. And that put us off by 20 minutes. And that was going to cause a few problems for, logistically for a few things. But I managed to squeeze out time from here and there during all of our breaks that we fucking finished on time. You know how fucking, I ran
you crack whips when people are having smoke breaks, they're trying to eat their lunch, they're like, all right, 30 minutes scratch or you're out.
The beauty about this was that everybody was working towards the same thing, at least on our team, and it was a smaller team, so it was easy to manage. And because our grades depend on it, everybody was a little bit more willing to listen to what I was telling them to do. Not that I'm an unreasonable leader or I rule with an iron fist, but we made it work, and it was a successful event, and I'm proud of myself and I'm happy, but my legs hurt, and I got some Korean food after, and now I'm drinking whiskey and we're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, usually I speed up the audio just a little bit. I'll, trim it up a little bit, cut out the silence and stuff. That is Nick in his perfect natural form, and this is me actually continuing the trend. We are talking fast, we're talking heated, we're talking hot. We got hot takes, hot chambers,
echo chambers as well, time is money, money is time, and all that jazz. I don't know what you want more from me. I'm gonna run out of steam pretty soon. I feel like there's money involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's money involved.
What?
Where? Did you say jizz?
Jazz. Or jizz works too. Whatever. It's 2019. Live it up. We don't kink shame.
I'm gonna say, is that the past tense? I jazzed.
Sure.
Music's great though. Anyways, over in my end, I talked about it in a different episode of Casual Master Quest, our little side quest that I did earlier with the wife. Hopefully I can get that edited and cleaned out for sometime this week. I think I might do that first just for chronologically it would make sense. It's kind of weird because I just spent a lot of time doing a podcast today and we said, fuck it, we're doing another one anyways. And so here we are. And it's pretty much, we had a fucking week. This is cathartic. Let's sit down and let's fucking talk. In terms of actual stuff I did this week, it was mostly parties. I think I went to 3 different parties, like just because of the holidays and stuff, and that's great. But I'm an introvert, which means I get a burnt out battery real quick. And so, you know, if you got a quiet room and there's a cat or something at the party, then I'm set for life. But if you put me, at the front of every single thing, I'm gonna have some trouble with life, unfortunately. But the good news, the very first party I went to, my uncle, bless him, we used to, almost have odds with each other, came up to me and like he understood. He understood. He came up to me with a little jar full of cherries and he said, "Hey, these are soaked in Everclear. Here you go." And so I take one. I'm thinking it's not going to be anything. I bite into it. And it's like, holy shit, these are some Everclear ass soaked cherries. And so, mind you, my grandmother sees cherries and she likes cherries. And so she's like, Ross, which is her son, I want a cherry. And he just kind of ignores her because I don't know, out of respect to himself and, safety to his mother, he decided, but after the 3rd time that she insisted, he was like, all right, you can have a cherry, just know they're soaked in Everclear. And she's like, okay. Like she, point A, point B, there is no line between. And, she popped it. She popped the cherry. And I had the audacity. And apparently this is making me guilty. Like, according to her, I'm guilty of giving her this because I recorded it. I got a full minute of what happens the moment she pops the cherry in her mouth and then realizes that it's 100, over here it's 180 proof, wood grain, liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, that was a sight to see, both for her and myself. She was not too happy, because that shit burns your mouth. It's
essentially rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. And, she thinks she's getting this fine, Mike's, hard cherry candy thing and that she got that. But, shout out to Everclear this time of year. So yes, technically I had Everclear, but, I was a responsible adult.
Sounds like fun.
Then from my side of the family, Thanksgiving, went to Amanda's side of the Thanksgiving. Had a good time. They gave me a chair I could sit in by myself. Made me very happy. And then just today, I had a birthday party for my cousin. My 2-year-old cousin. Second cousin, technically.
Hey, happy birthday, Tyler's 2-year-old cousin.
Yeah, happy birthday, Charlotte. It's a huge improvement compared to a year ago because last time I was working so hard that I also was a dumbass and tried staying up after work on, from Friday night, Saturday morning, that I tried going to this party and I was falling asleep when they're opening presents. Like, I was legit trying to, stay up and I was nodding off.
I think I remember this story. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the times where I came back here and I was like, I'll take a little nap and I'll be ready for the show. And then I just slept hardcore. Yeah, 5 hours later when I needed to wake up in 2, I'm like, uh-oh, the SpaghettiOs. But, was able to go to the whole event. I had no idea about Coco, which is a Disney movie.
Yes.
I got to watch a little bit of that. I was actually more interested in the movie than the party itself at that point, but what can you do? It's a 2-year-old. She doesn't recognize me. I still give her gifts. She's happy. And, it seemed I kind of asked Amanda, I was like, can I drink before I go? And she's like, you can't drink to a 2-year-old's birthday party. Meanwhile, I go there, everybody's hungover, and the father himself already has a beer in hand. I'm like,
that seems like open game to pop open a beer.
Yeah, if the father's drinking and, the grandfather is hungover as shit from drinking I'm pretty sure it's like, who the fuck cares kind of section.
Right. I mean, but there's also a difference between, like having a beer or two and then getting just absolutely plastered at like a 2-year-old's birthday party.
Plastered. Yep. No, that's fair. But yes, I was responsible, had a good time, got to hang out with family a little bit more. Got some bonding experience set up. Got me ready for Christmas. For me right now, it's December 3rd for the audio listeners, but for me it just turned into the 1st of December, and it's so weird and bizarre, just like the transition. It's weird, man. Especially
because it's like Thanksgiving just happened, and now all of a sudden everybody's in Christmas mode. Like 2 holidays so close back to back. I can't remember who was asking me, but everybody was celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend, and there's like a lot of, wholesomeness and gratitude and sharing on like Discord and socials, and everybody's wishing each other happy Thanksgiving. And then it kind of comes to me, and they're like, happy Thanksgiving. I'm like, happy Thanksgiving, but and I appreciate the sentiment. I'm not gonna be an asshole, but then like mine was like a month ago, and it's like, oh yeah, you're Canadian. And then I found a Twitter thread.
You're Canadian.
Found a Twitter thread about somebody who lives in Germany or something. I can't remember, but there's a person who lives in Germany, and then they have an American friend, and the American friend wishes them happy Thanksgiving, and they're like, thanks, but we don't celebrate it here. And we're like, wait. And the American friend was like, wait, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving worldwide?
It's like, what the fuck? Don't you guys got, natives that you also drove out? What the fuck, yo?
So, but we are a video game podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes. I've not actually played too much outside of D2. So Tyler, what have you been playing? Not that I don't have anything to share. I have things to share, but we're going to talk about games we've played.
That's totally fair, Nick. So I decided to go off the beaten path this week by playing a lot more Pokemon than last week. This path is just it's a trench at this point. Like I was gonna say, I'm digging a hole, but since I'm walking, it's a trench. I have played a shit ton of Pokemon. I talked about it on the previous episode, so I didn't want to get too crazy, talking about it.
Right.
But I'm currently stuck because I am trying to catch a certain Pokemon. I believe it's called Mimikyu.
Mimikyu, yeah.
The Mimikyu, whatever you want to call it. The ghost Pokemon hiding in the Pikachu costume.
Right.
And that thing is a son of a bitch for me to catch.
Is it only through dense?
It's in dense fog, one location, and I think a 3% chance of spawning. On top of that, over in the Bridgefield area of Pokemon, there's a chance of it spawning as a strong-looking Pokemon.
Right.
And, bless my luck, as soon as I start the game up, that area is dense fog. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And I walk in, and it's like, there's none. It was all, different regular Pokemon. And
ones that you didn't need.
Yeah. Get out of the way, characters I already own. And, I'm currently at 380 out of 400. I am so fucking close, dude. Man. I seriously hope I can actually complete the Pokédex. But every time that I hit a wall when it comes to getting a Pokemon, my saving grace has been Amanda a lot of times.
Yay, Amanda!
The power of surprise trades and all that. But this is not one that she has. I think this is the one where I'm going to have to save for a while. I sat there for at least 45 minutes trying to find this fucking Pokemon. And then after I said, I was like, okay, I'm going to try 10 times. If it doesn't appear, I'm taking a nap. And so I took a hell of a great nap. And here I am. Man, it was such a nice nap. And,
it's a rush, isn't it? Seeing that number go up and increase as you get closer and closer to the final number.
I mean, I was bragging like your typical white person about, doing something on Twitter. So it's like, yeah, I got 50 out of 100. I got 50 out of 400. I kept doing benchmarks, and yeah, being at 380, so close, man. I am climaxing on my Pokédex, and once I get the big O, Nick, on completing my Pokédex, it's gonna be such a dream. And then I'm scared I'm gonna put it down because I want to build a team, but that was a lot of work. I'm somewhere around 55 hours in right now.
Right. Yeah. That's one hell of an accomplishment, dude. if anybody knows what that feels like, it's me. And I mentioned it before, but I have no interest in doing that all over again because I already have all of them, and so now it's just the remaining whatever it was, 81 or 82 that they introduced. So for me, it's just kind of like I have no interest on even. I mean, I'll probably catch all the new one and try to complete all of them, just so that I can get them onto Pokemon Home, and so some way, shape, or form, I can complete my Pokédex. But
yeah,
for me, the thrill has always, personally, of course, has always just been in game, like being able to see all of them in perfect order. That's from numbered properly in like order of evolutions and having one of each. That's what's been fun. That was it for me. And then I can't do that. So which is part of why the moment I beat the game, I'm like, all right, there's really nothing else. And yeah.
So what's stopping you, Nick, in this hypothetical case? The breaking point of the Living Dex is having each and every single Pokemon on a single cartridge.
Yes.
Why not just swallow your pride and having each and every Pokemon on 2 cartridges?
No, because I already caught them all. I don't see the need to put in the work again after I've put in the work from Platinum.
You don't have to complete the whole Pokédex on the Galarian side. Just catch all the Galarian Pokemon, and then.
Oh no, that's what I said. So I said that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing at some point when Pokemon Home becomes available. I'll probably catch all the Galarian Pokédex, and so that way I still have all of those complete. Because I'm still gonna aim for that.
You just get a $500 Visa gift card and you say, I want you to hold on to these fucking Pokemon for 100 years. And then when this bank dies, I want you to bury these Pokemon with me. I don't care if you delete them. I'll be fucking dead. Put them in the ground with me.
Essentially. The only issue now is that I'm seeing is with getting Meltan and Melmetal. And that's going to be a whole other fucking journey that I'll go on whenever I decide to actually embark on completing the new Pokemon and adding those to my collection.
I mean, if it gives you any comfort, it's not in the Galarian Pokédex.
It's not in the fucking previous Pokédexes either. It's a fucking limbo Pokemon, but it still counts officially as 807 and 808.
Shit.
I have to fucking get them, but I can't fucking get them. Unless I trade them, which I'm going to have to do.
I'm gonna say, what if I just get them for you?
I mean, I'll take them at this point, and I'd greatly appreciate you, but it's like the principle of it, the concept of the fact that you can only evolve a Pokemon in a different game and then bring it over. I'll always argue that's one of the stupidest things that they've ever done. Period.
I mean, we talked about it before, the amount of time and effort that's gonna go into it, and since it's not hunting, and I mean, at this point, it's like, well, I can either spend, let's say, 6 hours, hypothetically, collecting all the candies and other bullshit to get that fucking Melmetal, or I can spend 6 hours hunting down this Mimikyu and rip out hair, because why the fuck is there Machops in an area that's supposed to be dominated by, ghosts and psychic types? Get the fuck out of here, Machop. Why, I'm sorry, I'm pissed off because I keep seeing Machops.
Fuck Machops.
And, fuck Machops!
Heracross.
You want to talk about
Was it Heracross? Heracross is a better fighting type.
Hell yeah, he is.
Oh, 100%.
Fucking Bughorn?
Primeape is a better looking fighting type. Aesthetically, better than Machop.
Better. Oh man, I'm not really into furry, but yeah, fuck Machop. Primeape's a better looking Pokemon.
You're not into furry, but you prefer shaved and smooth. I get it. All right, Tyler, I see you.
I mean,
that's fine. It's okay. It's 2019. We all have our preferences. It's fine.
If that's the case, Machop's not a scaly Pokemon, so would that make anybody like Machop a leathery or something like that?
It's like a humanoid, like oily buff guy.
Ooh. Now you're saying
well,
putting oil on Machops.
Sorry,
Can't you at least say Machokes? That way it seems more age appropriate?
Mind you, I was confusing, because they all have such similar names, I constantly confuse them. Machop, it looks like a leathery old man. Machoke and Machamp look like buff, oily bodybuilders. Is that fair? Is that better?
That's fair. Nick in the chat's saying Anthroi is the term we're looking for. So if you had the pick, Nick, and since we're both drinking whiskey,
yes, sir.
Welcome to the true side of Pokemon, motherfuckers. If you had the pick between a Machoke and a Machamp, what would you go for? Don't ask for specifics, just humor me.
No, sorry, that just went over my head. Could you repeat that question, please?
If you and with no details are involved or evolved, pun intended.
Yeah.
If you had the pick between a Machoke and a Machamp, Which one would you like? Both oiled up. Both oiled up.
You know what? I'm a champ. Because do you remember in I'm pretty sure it was the previous game, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you could use, like, you could call in Pokemon to, like, do things for you, like use the HMs,
Machamp coming
right?
in,
Machamp, yeah, like, you know, keep me safe, hold me tight, secure, some sort of, you know, safety net.
He held you close while being your strength, literally and figuratively. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't talking about sex or anything, you know, just because they're oiled up. I get oiled up every now and then. Doesn't mean, you know, I'm, you know, down for Horntown. And, you know, Machamps, you know, they're not, well, they're there to protect you. Pokemon are people too. Yes. And, you know, Machamps, you know, if they want to protect you like the way an oiled up Machamp can, then bless them. Sorry, Machokes, you're like, just the way I see you walk up to me and laugh.
Machokes, you're almost there. You're so close to the finish line. Just a little bit more XP, then you get traded over and you're going to evolve into the full glory you are.
It's like if you pick a Machoke or a Machoke out of Machamp, there's a bit of a trade-off, you know?
There's always a little bit of a trade-off.
Especially if you want to get him as a Machamp. Anyways, I think that's it for Pokemon. Do you want to keep talking about Pokemon?
This feels strange. No, I'm done with Pokemon.
Okay.
So I'm grinding out a title in Destiny. And it's a title that's only available this season. The season ends on December 10th, so kind of just going through that. But what I wanted to talk about specifically was not Destiny. That was just a little bit of an update. I got some new games. 3 new games, actually. Tyler, do you want to hear about these 3 new games?
Go on. I'm back.
So I did a little bit of shopping for people, and during one of my trips, I picked up a game for myself. I picked up Dead Cells on the Switch.
Nice, good choice.
So I'll be able to play while I'm traveling.
I thought you could say play while we're streaming, which I was like, or you could do it before, you know, or after, you know, but during travel, yeah.
I picked up Gears of War 5, and because I've been busy and I wasn't planning on, you know, being here today for whatever reason, I didn't get a chance to touch it yet. But I'm very excited because I love the Gears series, and I really want to see what the story-wise the next involvement is where it's gonna take us. And then I picked up a game, Tyler. Tyler, this is a game, and I want you to guess.
You just said 2 games. What do you mean you picked up a game? You're saying
my 3rd game, because I talked about 3 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
You picked up a 3rd game. You want me to guess? Okay.
It is one hell of a good game, and it is on the PS4, exclusive, not Death Stranding.
What the fuck?
Not Death Stranding, because I think you'll be happy with the choice I made.
Well, unfortunately, excuse me for my own firefly hit my throat and now Vol is choking, Blue Vol. Nick in the chat already took out my 2 guesses, which, you know, kind of spoils the fun over here. But you know what? I promote our interactions. Thank you.
Yes.
With the chat. But I'm pretty sure between the 2 of them, Horizon Zero Dawn would probably be the one that I hoped you picked up.
You are incorrect, sir.
But
I have no latent interest in Horizon Zero Dawn. I'll probably play it at some point, but I have no latent interest in Horizon Zero Dawn, mostly because God of War just seems like a much better choice. Also, it was $10.
All right. It looks like the crowd has turned on you.
I mean, that's fine. It's not my fault. Everybody else plays on a console. I play on the Master Race, so, you know, say what you can, say what you will. That's probably the douchiest thing I've said all day.
I don't know. You are lighting up we're not even live. For those who are curious, usually we live stream, but because circumstances, we decided to do it offline, but we invited 2 of our most active listeners in the chat. And they are I feel bad for Glenn, because Glenn is a part of this call and he's getting a notification for each message on Discord, and they're lighting it up like the California wildfire right now. And it is looking wild down here.
All right, so let me defend myself to the people who are listening.
I think you did a great defense right there. You lined him up and knocked him down. You go, Tiger.
So when I never said Horizon Zero Dawn was a bad game. I said I had no latent interest. God of War, I played the previous installments, so I have an emotional bond to the games, and hence that was the first game I saw. It also helps that it was $10 off. It was only $10 where Horizon was still $30, along with Spider-Man still being $40. So I saw a good deal and I picked it up.
So, to put in hindsight, it's not completely comparable, but like playing Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild hand in hand within like the same time period gave a lot of correlations to it just because of the style and all that. And you just said that you defended yourself here, but Nick, that wasn't before you started talking about PC Master Race level bullshit about
which is still true.
All that, which you're still holding on. Like, I respect that. You're holding on to it. I'm not going to jump for any bullets coming your way right now.
No, that's fine. I've dug my own grave. Nick has mentioned that God of War was free with Plus a couple months back. I don't think Eugene picked up Plus. I don't think we're both interested in picking up Plus. I haven't even turned on the PlayStation. He's done it himself. I've never used it. I've never touched the controller. So, like, I game primarily on my PC. So, like, can you blame me?
I mean, if you had to pick between two games that you wish you could play in PC, I can see Horizon Zero Dawn being the better pick because, I mean, God of War is just a good button mashing game. And not really button mashing because there's actually some fucking skill. Have you gotten a chance to play it yet, or? No,
not yet. No, like this only happened maybe 2 days ago that I picked it up. And I haven't it's still in its wrapping. Like the plastic wrap, I haven't opened it up yet. I want to get around to that, hopefully before I leave. So let's see.
Like, honestly, 10 out of 10 game to me. The only thing I don't like is it feels like there's content that unfortunately got cut, or they're just prepping up for, the sequel.
Right.
But just because of this style of lore, there are multiple realms that we are aware of. Nibelheim and all that stuff, Muspelheim. But there's also realms that they made visible to us, per se, but we couldn't actually go to them. And there's no way to actually, access them. And, they already said straight from the get-go, they're not going to do DLC. And Nick in the chat is asking me if God of War is better. What, did I say Detroit Become Human was like Game of the Year last year or something like that?
Yes, you did.
Is this... I'll have to replay him to decide that again. But anyways...
yeah, so I'm excited to give them a go, and I'm excited to
bad. Like my opinions.
I'm excited to slowly eventually dive into like some of the more some of the PS exclusives, because I do plan on doing that, considering that I now have the capability to do so. It's just that it's one of those things where this is Eugene's console, right? So I'm not exactly gonna like try and push him off it. Especially because now he likes to game on it, and he's been playing Need for Speed Heat. But yeah, that's it for games for me, Tyler.
I also want to point out that excuse me, you said some very, very hot takes right there, and I'm proud of you. And the crowd turned on to you, but the moment I said one thing, it's like they've rotated on the spot. I'm like, oh shit. Yu-Gi-Oh!
This is the nature of the masses.
Somehow. I got hoisted by my own Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card. What the fuck?
I play Pot of Greed.
As Amanda says, news for you, baby. This chair spins.
See, I think the key difference is here, like, I'm good at taking shit, and I've also known Amanda and Nick for significantly, shorter time than you've known them. So they have a much bigger, arsenal to turn about back onto you. So in this case, time is in my favor.
True. And all of us are, between the four of us, I like to think that we're a bunch of knuckleheads, so we're willing to take the hits, except for me because I'm a sensitive baby. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yes, I said it. I said it. Modular Segment, Nick, you're the host. Let's see what we got here.
All right, so this comes from our Discord, actually, from the Ask a Question channel. This actually also comes from Nick, which is nice enough. So, and his question, verbatim. So after the recent podcast, it's obvious y'all are playing the new Pokemon game. However, I've noticed none of y'all, I'm reading it verbatim, none of y'all said what number you're wearing for the gym challenge. So I asked him, what numbers have y'all chosen and why? Basically...
So why asking what numbers have y'all chosen and why you're here?
Tyler, what number did you go with? Because I know we swapped league cards, but I cannot remember to the life of me what number you were.
I'm still kind of embarrassed with that league card because, the weird thing about league cards in Pokemon Sword and Shield is you gotta update them Otherwise, if you do it just the one time, you could be fucking 80 hours in, but if you forget to update your league card, you still have, hey, I have a level 10 score bunny. I'm so cool.
Right.
With a cute SpongeBob smile and all that shit.
The only thing that doesn't auto-update is your team, but what's nice enough is that if you change your hairstyle or if you change clothes, like in the dressing room, it always asks you if you want to update your league card. The only thing I'm not sure is if when you do the printing, you get different foil options, and so I'm not sure if it automatically charges you if you choose the ones that actually have a cost attached to them. I haven't noticed that.
Good question. I don't know either. To answer your question, though, I chose the number 13.
Pray tell, why, Tyler, have you chosen the number 13?
Well, I want to ask you first, what number did you pick? Because I know you didn't pick 11. I know you did not pick the number 11.
Tyler, I made my gamer tag, I want to say maybe 2007 or 2008, no, scratch that, 2011. And since 2011, I've been known as LR Warrior 11. And then recently, as of this year, I've rebranded to LR 11. So yes, Tyler, I've chosen 11.
You know what you lost, son? You lost the warrior in you.
I mean, that's
fine. You lost the warrior in LR Warrior 11.
I'm a pussy ass bitch anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. So the reason why I picked... What, is this a smack me harder daddy situation? I'm not gonna go with you on this.
Yes, please. What?
Okay, anyways.
Huh?
Oh man, I need another shot for this. I chose the number 13 because, this kind of came up in topic with Nick, but I kind of wanted to, Nick in the chat, I wanted to shush him because I thought it would be great content for the show. The reason why I picked the number 13 is because I went and did one sport, unless you count marching band, then two, but that's on you. I like, even though I did marching band, I don't count it as a sport. It just, it's an extracurricular activity that requires a lot of physical exercise. But my point is, the one sport I did was swimming. And being a part of the swimming team, I really had to work my way up starting freshman year because A, I didn't know how to swim, and B, I was grossly overweight. I did not do that much activity. And so being the very, very, very bottom of the totem pole of the entire swimming team, we were giving these cool bathrobe-like things to keep us warm when we were out of the water. And I had last pick. And all the boys, being, the superstitious fucks that they are, didn't want to touch the robe that had the number 13 on it. They thought that was bad luck. Well, I didn't care. I took it and I wore it. And, I still won. I still won, relay races and other, doing the 100-meter butterfly, and we got us to state 3 years in a row. So it's not like it did any bad on my end. And so my point was, I realized I liked the number 13 because everybody else thinks it's the number, well, not everybody. A lot of people actually turned on it kind of like I did. A lot of people don't like the number 13, and I embraced it because, but yes, so I took that to heart, and so whenever somebody asked me for a number to assign to myself, which this game did exactly that, I chose the number 13.
I wanted to give myself 011 because you can choose up to 3 digits, and I realized that is now possible, but I didn't because 11 is cleaner. And for me, I don't know if I grew into the number or the number grew onto me. It's a little hazy now, but that's around the time, like when I made my first gamer tag, is around the time when I first started watching soccer, and I was watching the Spanish league, and one of my favorite teams is a Spanish team called Real Madrid, and one of my favorite players for that team was a Welsh player called Gareth Bale, whose number was 11. So that's just kind of like, it's a little simplistic, little, growing up kind of like idolizing favorite player, but it's kind of stuck and I like it. It's got simplicity to it. As a designer now, I like the symmetry of it. So it's just,
It totally makes sense. Nostalgia is a good factor, in deciding a number like that. And I wonder how many people have a number, like when they think like really hard about, if I had to pick up to a 3-digit number, well, we can say 4 if we want to, do they have a number that they always go to? Like, it would be an interesting experiment to where, let's say, Pokemon What's-His-Fuck comes out again, and they also make you choose a number. Do you choose the same number? And if so, Nintendo could release a survey saying, do people have a specific number they stick with?
That's interesting because I would choose the same number, mostly because, and you've noticed, my character in the game is called Kai, right?
Yes.
Kai was when I was first cognizant of Pokemon and what was going on. That was the first character I made in Pokemon Ruby, and so if you look through my Pokédex actually, and some of the Pokemon I've carried over from Ruby, you'll notice that the original trainer is Kai, and it came from Pokemon Ruby. So I'd probably still, because I'm like narratively I like that kind of continuity, so I'd probably go with Kai and still number 11.
Okay, that's fair. So I'm trying to think, like, Nick in the chat suggesting that, the most would go with 69 or 420 or something like that, just, for shits and giggles. And I think that would be expected with the millennials.
I mean, you ask any edgelord, and also you're a millennial yourself, Tyler. You ask any edgelord, and they would probably reply with 420 or 69. Yeah.
You're gonna really throw me under the bus like that? Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
I mean, I'm just pointing it out just because you're shit talking somebody to make sure that you also acknowledge the fact that you're shit talking yourself.
I mean, I was making fun of Nick for using the word y'all, but I'm still American. I can make fun of something. I mean,
I'm not taking away the freedom of you making fun of anybody. I'm just saying that if you're gonna do that, you're also throwing yourself under
If you want to step on my constitutional rights, well then I'm gonna have to take the hat off, Mr. Canada, sir.
All right, I'd like to see you try to cross the border.
But I already did.
I'd like to see you try to cross it again.
What, after saying that?
Maybe.
Oh, heavy sweat animation. Please, I take that back. I want to go to Toronto. Anyways, So, and just a shout out to people in the chat here. They said, like Amanda said, she chose 15 because that's her birthday. Her birthday is, on the 15th. And then Nick also said that his hockey number was 54, and then he had 51, 4, and 14. So, there's usually, a good reason why people are tied together to a certain number, and I like the fact that it's usually nostalgia. Or just, just anything at this point. Just find something you're attached to.
Yeah, it's funny how numbers have attachment. Sorry,
numbers have power.
I got pulled on a train of thought, and now I lost that train, and I'm trying to recall that train, but I still can't find that train. I've said train way too many times.
Choo choo, motherfucker. Let's move on to the topic of the show then.
All right, Tyler. Tell us a little bit about this.
Oh, okay, Mr. Host. I guess I will also. I'll talk about this. So, topic of the show. Thank you first off, pushsquare.com for the article. Ex-Ghostwire Tokyo director Ikumi Nakamura it looks like they're being primed out to be a part of the Sony team. And for those who don't know, Nakamura-sama would probably, since I'm so cultural.
All right, Tyler, carry on.
Is somebody that we saw on E3 of the previous E3, and a lot of people were won over by her demeanor, but she has such a hell of a resume to back that up that she's been trying to find a good spot in the world, in the video game world specifically, and it looks like Sony might be trying to pick her up. Now, granted, this is just a rumor. It's
hearsay, speculation. Out with you.
State with the, straight from the grapevine. You're like gossiping old ladies.
So yeah, Ikumi Nakamura has some, to me at least, 3 knockouts under her belt. She was the conceptual designer for Bayonetta. She was the lead concept artist for The Evil Within, 2014. And she was one of the background productions on, she has background productions credits on Okami. And so now, apparently, and again, it's all speculation, put on your tinfoil hat, folks, she's been let go by Tango Gaming. And she
know for what?
No idea. She was the lead artist, lead creative director for Ghostwire Tokyo that we saw a little preview of at this past E3. And the rumor being that she might be picked up by Sony is interesting. Like I wish nothing but the best for developers in general, but I wonder where she's gonna fit in. Like imagine imagine she gets paired with Kojima, as Nick also pointed out.
Well, first off, their own separate entities. They're she is, if in this type of, hypothetical situation, she's going to be employed by Sony, whereas Kojima will just be hand in hand as a contracted individual, essentially. I feel like that kind of forced relation would be kind of weird, but, if they both consented to, being a part of a team, that could lead to some weird shit, yeah. For sure.
You have the mind behind Death Stranding and Metal Gear Solid, and on the other side, you have the mind behind Bayonetta, the conceptual designer behind Bayonetta. Can you imagine Bayonetta in the Metal Gear Solid universe?
Who would have thought that the person in charge of part of Bayonetta would be the voice of reason to Kojima? I feel like Kojima would be the fucking night train, and she would be the person pulling out rail spikes to send this fucker flying off into the sky.
This is the
story of a girl who got tried to get bought out by Sony, and she looks so happy at E3, but
this is potentially like a match made in heaven just waiting to happen. If this were really to like come into fruition.
We're still talking on a professional level. We're not going to try to romance two characters just because are both.
Yeah, we're talking
endearing.
about games. We're like, this is a video game podcast. We're only talking about video games.
Of course.
Yeah, and we never talk about anything else ever.
Look, no amount of alcohol would suggest anything otherwise. So we are respectable adults, and we respect people for their individuality, and we do not ship them.
And Nick asked an appropriately timed question. Is Kojima married? Let us find out. A quick Google search of Hideo Kojima pulls up.
Let's interact with our audience. Okay, Google. Is Kojima married?
No, that's a negative. It doesn't seem like he
Wow.
Who would have thought this depraved genius hidden away from the rest of the world and sanity is not in a current long-term relationship?
I honestly thought he was married to Solid Snake. He just has like full body pillows of the character. And every once in a while, like when he feels feisty, he'll open the closet and he'll like, oh, Liquid Snake, you're gonna join Snake. Twin snakes. That's how it came to be. Anyways, you okay, Nick?
I'm okay. I mean, it's like imagining. It's an artist essentially who's designed characters to fill in his own void, and he's made them come to life. And
you know what? Tonight I'm gonna be the daddy. You can call me Big Boss.
Okay. Well, it just seems like overall, Sony is now. I don't know if this would be fair to say. So, if we're gonna go down the rumor lane.
Yeah. We're already down. Like we're going like around the cul-de-sac. But we're not even going back up rumor lane. We are spinning in circles.
We're there to stay. So everybody, like a lot of companies, a lot of developer studios have had copies of, have had the PS5 dev kit now for a while. And they've been testing things out, and people on the internet have been complaining about how it looks like, but also people don't realize that it's a dev kit and it's going to change, and the PS4 dev kit was also ugly as shit. And the PS4 ended up looking quite sleek and nice. But the Project Scarlet, which is, going to be the next iteration of the Xbox, there are not a lot of dev kits out there. And I think it was Phil, I can't remember who was saying this, and I read an article maybe a couple of days ago. They did that on purpose so that they want to really try to surprise Sony. And looking at all the things that have happened with Mixer over the last few months and all the big streamers moving over, we've got Shroud, we've got Ninja, and a few other notable people. It seems like Microsoft gearing up for a fight.
Saying Ninja and saying notable, it just, I guess, okay. Like,
monetary, financial value, like, there've been other notable streamers that have moved over, including Ninja.
That is absolutely true. It's just hearing the guy who doesn't understand why football players can't make field goal kicks 100% of the time. Like, it's just common sense. You either do it or you don't. There's got to be a pool of them out there that are just perfect kickers.
Hey man, that's why opinions are opinions. You don't actually have to listen to all of them because they don't all come from people who know what they're talking about.
True. That's why politicians should not be, that's why I personally think that celebrities should not always give political opinions. But, that's okay. Do what you want.
So it looks like we're leading up to like quite a bit of a showdown next year between the PS5 and Project Scarlet, whatever it ends up being called, because we don't know what the the full name of it is. And I'd like to think that with the acquisition or the potential acquisition of Ikumi Nakamura, and with what she's worked on under her belt and her being a part of their team, and then we've got the Santa Monica studio and a lot of other Sony first party developers, I think 2020 is going to be really exciting for video games, Tyler.
I agree. It's going to be a hell of a year. Sorry, I just took another shot of that whiskey and
no, you're good.
Kicked.
I'm most excited for Cyberpunk, like right off the bat. That's coming out in April, and it's going to be one hell of a fucking game because I love CD Projekt Red. Or, CD Projekt Red.
Fucking Keanu Reeves coming in on a flying bus? Yes, please.
Keanu can do no wrong.
It's weird. Well, I mean,
you're all breathtaking.
I can say he hypothetically could, but he hasn't. I don't think there's been much of a time where I've seen like him do a shortcoming. He's always been like in the essence of goodwill, essentially.
I feel like any bad movie might have seen with him, it was everything else in the movie that failed him. It wasn't him failing the movie.
He stood strong, but the support couldn't hold his greatness. Great. So if we make a Mount Rushmore, we got Kojima and then we got Keanu Reeves now because he's joined the video gaming world.
Could you imagine if Keanu Reeves wasn't Death Stranding, Tyler?
I mean, all he had to do was sit with Kojima for like 5 minutes having tea and then have a render session.
I mean,
the same.
Kojima.
What would Keanu Reeves' character's name be? Chosen One Man? I'm trying to think of
Chosen One Man.
Neo Man.
Just Neo.
Just Neo? Yeah, just say fuck it to the complete Matrix series and just say, yeah, he's fucking Neo Man. Or sorry, just Neo. Man's my last name. Oh, please, Man's my father's name. Just call me Neo. And, but my question remains, Mount Rushmore, Kojima, now Keanu Reeves, who's the other two in my wild imagination here?
In your imagination? Or just like, is it open-ended? Like, is it an open-ended imagination, or have we already set the people?
Well, I said those two people, so I kind of set them in stone in my head, and I don't want to be made a fool of. So just humor me. What are your two? That way we can combine together in a team effort.
Fuck. Todd Howard. Man.
Really? The magic guy?
No, God Howard. I'm like the Bethesda guy.
Isn't Todd Howard the guy that lost a flash drive that showed a bunch of stuff?
No. That's Randy Jackson. That's the Gearbox guy.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? We'll
just fucking throw him on there too. So it's Todd Howard and Randy Jackson. I hope that's his name.
Wow. I guess Mount Rushmore's on a downhill slope now because that's you are dropping the ball further
for the memes.
Okay, so Kojima, Keanu Reeves, because just that one time he entered the video game world, he's now on Mount Rushmore. Todd Howard, and then you said what's his name? Randy Jackson?
Yeah, let me CEO of Gearbox. Randy Pitchford. Not Randy Jackson. I don't know where the fuck Randy Jackson came from. His name is Randy Pitchford. And I'll tell you why Todd Howard, because Nick addresses this. Yes, even with all the shit talk for Fallout 76, purely because all God Howard had to do was come up on stage, announce another port for Skyrim, and then show us a 6-second teaser of some clouds and a mountain announcing Elder Scrolls 6, and the internet lost his shit. And Randy Jackson is indeed, because we have Glenn in the chat. No, Randy Jackson is indeed from
that's
American
a no for me,
Idol.
dog.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. Forget Randy Pitchford. We're just gonna throw Randy Jackson on the mountain because.
Have you drank enough whiskey that we are taking off one of the CEOs of the biggest American video game companies, and and you're gonna put on one of the judges from American Idol instead?
Yes, sir. Don't we need a female? It's 2019, guys. This is hypothetical. It doesn't count.
Ooh, man, you say that, but suddenly like. We're getting fucking lit up from the chat for not having it.
I mean, okay. To be fair, we're memeing at this point, right? So I'm trying to at least pick the most memey people.
I'm trying to remember what is the name of the person that was in charge of Visceral Games during the Star Wars debacle that I think ended up getting transferred over to Battlefront 2 or something like that, and eventually led. Look in the chat, Tyler. Is that Amy Hennig? Is that who you're talking about? Oh, okay. I'm being fucking chastised. Let's see. Amy Hennig is an American video game director and scriptwriter, formerly for the game company Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog.
Okay. Yeah. Yep, and she joined Visceral Games with Todd Stashwick to work on their Star Wars game, but they shut down Visceral Games, and that was tragic.
Games.
I would say that just as a shot, it kind of feels bad because when you think about it, we just named off like 4 fucking goons, but then just to make it socially acceptable, we had to tag on someone diverse.
Hey, listen, Tyler. Keanu Reeves is not a goon. Keanu Reeves is breathtaking.
I mean, the only reason why that Rushmore is going to fail is because the other people didn't hold him up properly.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault.
That's what you said, right?
Yeah, it wasn't his fault.
Oh, okay, so we're going to put Kojima at the second highest level, then we'll raise up Keanu Reeves.
As we should.
And then we're going to put like $20 plasters of the other 2, and then we'll just have a single mountain of herself with Amy Hennig. And holy crap, I don't know who Kathleen Kennedy is. I feel terrible now. Head of Lucasfilm. We're gonna have some.
We've derailed from video games to American Idol to film, so I'm gonna say this is a happy derailment, and we're gonna move on.
Hypothetically, if we were to build a Mount Rushmore, I'm pretty sure it would just be
it'd be along
chain.
It'd be along the Rockies. We just convert the Rockies into Mount Rushmore.
We just build right into the side of the fucking Rockies. Yep. Okay.
So we're gonna cover game releases, and we've got quite a few game releases and this day in gaming. Tyler, could I ask you to take game releases, please? Because this day in gaming has importance to me.
Does it? I'm looking at it. I don't see anything decent, but if you say so, I don't want to hear from the guy that wants to trash talk the Wii U anytime it gets mentioned in the history. And
I've never heard of it.
Doing this. Oh my God! Look. So coming out December 3rd, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. First one is Farming Simulator 2020, so far the highlight of this week, but that's just the first game, coming out for Nintendo Switch. So, got a strong start. Farming Simulator 2020. Halo Reach coming out December 3rd, PC,
Woo!
Xbox One.
Woo!
So far, Farming Simulator's winning. Oh man, I'm turning heel. Wait, is Halo Reach the big game? Is this the next?
So Halo Reach is being released. So the Master Chief Collection is coming to PC finally, and it's a staggered launch. And Halo Reach is the first in that. It is chronologically the first game in the series, but it is the most recent before Bungie stopped developing the Halo games. So it went Halo 1, 2, 3, Halo Reach, Halo 4, and then Halo 5. And
what about ODST? Where does that fall into it?
That falls under Halo 3. That was in the timeline. It goes So the timeline is Reach 1, 2, 3, ODST 4, 5. Release was 1, 2, 3, ODST Reach 4 and 5.
Okay. So does that mean I can finally play a co-op Halo game on the computer?
Yes, sir. Before Halo Infinite, which comes out later next year, Halo Reach is launching December 3rd, and then the rest of the game should come out in a staggered launch over the course of the next year.
Holy shit, man. The last time I got to play a Halo game was like during Halo 3 with Forge Days.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited regardless, because Halo also holds a very special place in my heart. Heart in my place?
Like, I still remember to this day the time that we got to spend on this one fucking sand dunes map where there was a vehicle called the Elephant, which was just this giant slow moving vehicle, and if you Forge is like their creative mode essentially, and if you put enough explosives into it, you could send that fucker flying through the air. But more importantly, like the custom mode where everybody played as zombies, where there would be one person with the sword that could insta kill, and then that's so much fun. But I'll probably say I'll get it, and then I won't until I get peer pressured. So I'm sure I'll have enough people that'll shake me, or the friends are ready and they won't shake me. We'll see. Anyways, Life is Strange 2, Episode 5. Hey, Episode 4 came out December 3rd, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition, also coming out December 3rd, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. It looks like we're getting a thumbs up from Glenn for that one.
Neverwinter Nights is a third-person RPG, developed by BioWare, originally released in 2002, and this is the remastered version. Enhanced edition, let me double check, is being developed by Beamdog. They also did the enhanced editions of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 in 2013.
Okay. That's reputable, I'd like to think. Phoenix Point, is coming out for PC on December 3rd as well. Do you know what Phoenix Point is?
It is a strategy video game. It's a turn-based tactics system, and it's being developed by a Bulgarian indie developer called Snapshot Games.
Now, Snapshot Games seems like a familiar name. I don't know where I hear that.
They made
the only
Chaos
other game that they
Reborn.
worked on was Reborn, which is also a tactical role-playing game. It seems like they got a theme going on. Let's see if they do good. They also were one of those Kickstarter success campaigns. Essentially, they did a Kickstarter to crowdfund it, and
that's awesome.
They made over. So it looks like not only did they successfully kickstart a game to life, they're still able to keep going, which is that's the great dream right there, right?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Last game coming out December 3rd, which is Tuesday for those curious. Saga Scarlet Grace Ambitions, which sounds Japanese as fuck because not only did they use a dash, they used a semicolon. What the fuck?
Developers of Square Enix. It is a role-playing video game co-developed by Square Enix and Studio Real.
Fucking caught that one. Woo!
Yep.
Not even over the head. That's bullseye right there, boy. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh because I'm sure there's people out there who like, mind you, it's typed in the thing that it's Saga, just SAGA, but this is in real life it's SAGA, Saga, Scarlet Grace, and so. Just the fact that, you can tell a game is going to probably come from Japan if it has both a semicolon and a dash in it.
Or if it has an XD or an XXX or an S-class,
Like, if it has the word RE in it, yeah, it's probably fucking Japanese as shit.
They're one uwu away from being, blatantly Japanese, being a blatantly Japanese game.
Okay. That's fair. Darksiders Genesis. Now, is this the fourth Darksiders game coming out that I have not been ignorant of?
Correct. This also took me by surprise. I played the first two Darksiders. Third one came out, got mixed reviews. I was planning on picking it up when it was on as cheap as possible. And the third one followed still kind of the third person hack and slash with some more RPG elements. But apparently Darksiders Genesis is even more RPG like. So like borderline MMO kind of RPG style. But it's still a single player game. Yeah.
This will be interesting because you actually get to play with two characters this time, Strife and War. And
interesting.
I'm pretty sure War is the character in the first game, right? Correct.
It was War, Death, Fury, and then Strife was supposed to be in this one.
Which apparently they're and War again. And it looks like Strife uses pistols and War will use his sword Chaos Eater.
I think from the end of the first game it was Strife, lore-wise, it was Strife that was coming to help him first. But then with the rest of the games, they were showing what was happening when War was doing his shit and what they were doing and before they went off to help him. So I think that's why War might be coupled with him.
Okay, the power of narrative bullshit. At the same time, it's still surprising for a company that went under and then got bought and then, brought back up, is still making Darksider games. And it's coming out, looks like, the heck? So I got a different reading for the release date for this, so, no, it's correct. It's technically correct. This is coming out December 5th for PC, but not consoles. And,
yes,
which is weird to me
later,
because
I think, yes.
Yeah, it's coming out for Google Stadia and just regular PC for the 5th, but it's not coming out until February 14th, which I'm pretty sure is Valentine's Day, question mark.
That is correct.
For the consoles, that's a hell of a romance game. Yeah, let's release 2 of the 4 apocalypse horsemen
on the most romantic day of the year.
Honestly, not as crazy as Deadpool coming out on Valentine's Day, but
Deadpool's a love story. It's truly a romance. It's a movie about two people in love.
Are you saying that love can't bloom on the battlefield? What has Kojima not taught you?
Absolutely fucking nothing, Tyler.
That's fair. Have you played a Kojima game before?
No, I have not. Would I still learn anything from playing one?
I have the right to reserve my opinion on this. But yes, I'm going to say yes, you would learn something, but the understanding or reasoning behind understanding that would be an enigma. But anyways, we also have Star Ocean First Departure coming out on PS4 and Nintendo Switch, also on the 5th. And then lastly, we have Ancestors, The Humankind Odyssey, which is coming out on December 6th for the PS4 and Xbox One.
Correct. Star Ocean's First Departure is a remake of the first Star Ocean's game that came out in '96. And Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey is a third-person survival game.
Nice.
Seem to be set with like you play as an ape, like so we're talking about like you're an ancestor. You are your ancestor. Yeah.
So Nick.
Yes. Hi.
Since mostly I did the history thing, but I fell apart trying to understand what's going on with this world. Could you take this gaming day in history?
All right, so we've got a chain of things coming out, and I thought this was very interesting. Now we're gonna go a little bit out of order. We're gonna start with 2007. 2007 was the year that this day in gaming, December 2nd specifically. 2007 was the year that Activision Blizzard was formed.
The biggest soul ever sold to the devil.
Yes, this is when the infestation occurred and Blizzard sold itself out, and we have lost the old guard officially. Following from that, we've got The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Four Swords edition that came out 2002 for the Game Boy Advance.
Yep, it was a double game cartridge. It was pretty cool.
And I believe that the Four Swords option introduced multiplayer.
The concept is, since the Game Boy Advance could link not just 2, but up to 4 actual different Game Boy Advances together, they introduced a game where you could play as different colored links, and that's what led to the whole multicolored link multiplayer game. Starting with that one game.
That's really cool. And then we've got Super Smash Bros. Melee 2001 for the GameCube in North America on this day, December 2nd. So, Super Smash Bros. Melee, happy 18th birthday. Be careful.
Holy shit. I'm old as fuck.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past 4 Swords Edition, happy 17th birthday. And Activision Blizzard, happy 12th birthday, even though we hate you a little bit.
We don't hate them. It's like saying, if I'm mad at somebody in my family, I don't hate them. I just don't ever want to talk to them ever again.
Just extreme displeasure.
Just pure ostracization.
And then there's a whole slew of games here, 4 games specifically, that mean quite a bit to me because it started my foray into actual like hack and slash and adventure games. There are 4 Prince of Persia games on this list. And it's interesting because they all came out for the PC specifically around this day. One really or two of timely, them a day or two off. So we're going to start with the attempted reboot in 2008, the Prince of Persia series, which came out for the PS3 and Xbox 360, that tried to revamp the fighting mechanics and focus more on one-on-one style, like combat. Like you didn't fight groups of enemies, you just fought enemy opponents one-on-one, and you get to combo with an AI partner. Following that, from 2005 to 2003, Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones, which was the latest in the Sands of Time trilogy, came out for the PS2. Prince of Persia: Warrior Within, 2004, PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and Windows, and Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time 2003 for the PC. Now, what amazed me about these games is not only was the storytelling, to me, personally fantastic. These made up, like, there were significant foundations for how I imagined, like, dark and moody and edgy to be, and, like, in a fantasy setting. But they were also released, within a year of each other, essentially. But they were, like, still full quality, like, high quality games and full featured games. But the tone, despite being the same studio, was so different from each game. Sands of Time was all, a little low graphics, but it was all kind of like the typical hero's journey kind of like arc, whereas Warrior Within was super dark and edgy, and then Two Thrones had dark and edgy mixed with some like hopefulness. So and Tyler, we have one more on this list. Would you like to read that out?
No, since you are in charge of the history thing, I think it's all you, my friend.
Understood. And this one is a special shout out to all the Kingdom Hearts fans. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix Collector's Edition. That was a fucking mouthful. PlayStation 3 version released United States and Canada 2014.
It says II.5 Remix, not 2.5 remix. Come on, Nick. Can you try it again?
Sorry. Kingdom Hearts HD Roman numerals 1.5 remix, because the mix was capitalized. Collector's edition, PlayStation 3 version released United States and Canada 2014. Was that more appropriate, Tyler? Would you like me to do that again? I can do one more take for you.
Nick, I was about to say 5 stars, but if you're gonna give one more take, then yeah, please let's hear it one last time for Square Enix's sake.
On this day in 2014, we'd like to wish a happy 5th birthday to Kingdom Hearts HD II.5 Remix Collector's Edition, PlayStation 3 version released United States and Canada. Happy 5th birthday.
Thank you, Nick. May your heart be your guiding key.
Still don't understand what the fuck that means, but that's gonna be it for the show, and we're gonna start wrapping up.
Don't worry, nobody knows what it fucking means.
Tyler, where can people find you?
You can find me in 2003, where Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 got released for the PlayStation 2 in the United States. You can also find me on Twitter at 2xTyler, all letters, one word. Where can we find you, Nick?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LR11, as well as on Instagram with LR11. You can also find me on Twitter at LR11th. You can find our other co-host, Glenn, at twitch.tv/Razith, and at Glenn Houston, with 2 N's, and it's spelled like Huston, Huston, but pronounced like Houston.
Good job.
Yeah. You can find the show, Casual Master Quest, on Twitter at MasterQuestPod. You can email us at casualmasterquest@gmail.com. You could find us on Facebook and Instagram by just typing in Casual Master Quest. We also have a D&D show called Casual Quest Masters that's in the same feed as Casual Master Quest. And it is getting really interesting, and we're just taking fucking forever traveling somewhere, but it's getting really interesting.
Hell yeah.
And then you can also hit us up on our Discord, ask us questions, talk to us, hang out with us. You can find all those links on our Twitter profile. So once again, Twitter at MasterQuestPod. Any last words before we officially send off here, Tyler?
You know what? It's been a hell of a weekend, and I'm glad that we were able to give the closing it deserves. Yeah, that was Nick. This is Tyler. That was Jack Daniels, and I think that's gonna be it, Nick. Let's wrap this bad boy up.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you very much for giving me your time. Have a good week. We'll see you next time, and don't forget to never stop the grind. Be safe.
We'll eat my ass later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Tyler, that was only for me. What do you mean? You're not supposed to share.
The intro to the podcast, titled Casual Master Quest, was paid for and produced by the wonderful talent Revelries Music. You can find more of their work at soundcloud.com/Revelries Music, or just click on the link in the show descriptions. The background music is the album Top 50 Best Classical Piano Music by Brilliant Classics. You can find out more about Creative Commons at www.creativecommons.org/license/by/4.0.